Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Until Dawn. And this is a new video game adaptation of the horror game, and this is co-written by Blair Butler and Gary Doberman, who has worked on the Conjuring franchise, who teams up with director David F. Sandberg, who has dabbled in the Conjuring verse, but also made the film Lights Out before, making some Shazam. And here he returns to the horror genre, bringing to life this story as a group of friends trapped in a time loop, where mysterious foes are chasing and killing them in gruesome ways, must survive until dawn to escape this horrific time prison that they're stuck in. And this film certainly has some interesting ideas to it, like this horror time loop where each night something new and twisted keeps getting added in. The events get darker, more twisted, and more dangerous, and that's an interesting idea. And also the setting, in terms of what this town actually is, opens the door for some really interesting visuals and set pieces. And I feel like the film really finds its stride in its third act, starting with this montage of videos showing all the dark, twisted things that these people have been going through over these nights, which some of those little clips in that montage are legitimately terrifying and very creative, which is a little bit frustrating. And because, well, first off, it does continue to keep rising in tension and suspense and creativity and ups the pace. But the first two-thirds of this film, it's entertaining, it's engaging enough, but I feel like it feels very tired. It's like, hey, look, here's a slasher night, here's a demon possession night, and it just kind of leans into those tropes. But there are some really good scares, and Sandberg is a talented director who knows how to build tension. And like those little videos, they're pretty terrifying. There's a sequence with, there's a lot of flashlight usage in this, use of darkness, a lot of like panning cameras and coming back to reveal something. A lot of the makeup and designs of these creatures is quite impactful and very effective. I just feel like Sandberg is really elevating some elements of this script that feel very pedestrian, which is frustrating in a film that's supposed to have such an interesting concept. It really leans on that. And especially when it comes to the exposition dump, it has like one of the most cliched things you could possibly have, where it's just like, let's dump some stuff at you. Now, the cast made up of Ella Rubin, who's like the real core of the film, Clover, whose sister sister went missing, and they search for her here. You have Michael Cimino, Odessa, Azion, Ji Young-yu, and Belmont Cameli, who plays this crew. And Azion and Cimino definitely are the more recognizable of the group, and I feel like Rubin's the one who really anchors us down, but they all do a really fine job here. Peter Stormare, who is like the creepy guy here, who's this veteran presence from an acting standpoint and also like a creepy presence from a filmmaking standpoint, is there to really, anchor some elements down into this story, dump some exposition, of course. I think character-wise, Clover really is the heart of this film, with her trauma and her loss of her mother and now searching for her sister. And her relationship with Max, Cimino's character, brings some emotion as well. And Abe Cameli's character feels a bit more of like a antagonistic kind of presence to build up some extra drama. And Yu's Megan, they really lean on like, oh, she's a psychic, she could connect to the other side, and really lean on that too heavily for convenience. You do have to throw a lot of logic out the window because there's some things that just aren't really consistent here. But it gets creative, it gets creepy, it has some interesting ideas and concepts. And I think Sandberg does enough to keep this thoroughly entertaining and a rock-solid directorial horror effort adapting this beloved video game. But those are my thoughts on Until Dawn. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.